There's one unexpected egg behind them. Perhaps there's still a chance.
Prepare yourself!
The spirits of a Magister and a dwarf are locked in ethereal combat. Their vicious blows make no impact, yet they struggle on. Mid-snarl, the dwarf spies your presence and staggers back to address you.
Sorcerer! You must hate the Reds as much as I do, eh?
Provoked indeed. He knows Sorcerer's Law Voidwoken, and he knows we'd all still be alive if he hadn't attacked our caravan.
Rightly so. Reds had sorcerers locked up tight in that caravan, and you know where they were sending them. You look like you've been there yourself.
The Magister lunges for the dwarf, his exasperation clear.
Anna, you saw it with your own eyes. You know Sorcerer's Law Voidwoken, and you know we'd all still be alive if you hadn't attacked our caravan.
The Magister's shoulders collapse with relief. His burden lifted, his spirit slowly fades to nothingness before your eyes.
We tried to help your kind, and you'll help those that enslaved you? You're a wrong 'un and no mistake. I've little to say to one who parleys with Magisters. Yes, indeed, that'd be you.
Doubled over in agony, the shivering Magister spirit mumbles to himself, tightly clutching 3 golden stalks in one fist. Noting tension, he straightens, revealing insignia spelling Kinnit, and a jagged wound spilling his innards upon the ground. He reaches a ghostly hand into your chest and squeezes your heart. You become Kinnit, his memories flooding over you and replacing your own. Warmth, comfort. You are Kinnit, playing cards with your mates in a cozy barracks. You stagger to tipsy attention as a white-clad magister commands that one of your troop seek a lost caravan. It's a one-man job, a job no man wants. Your sly-eyed troop leader holds out straws to you and the others. Who will investigate? You feel the short straw and hear them shout, "Kinnit!" You know what that means. A lonely traipse in the cold dark. You dawdle and grumble all the way, sobering as you find the overturned caravan. Massacre. Your lantern reveals ravaged corpses in every direction. Inhaling sharply, you smell a thick black stench you remember secondhand from the few void-woken corpses your troops have found. As you approach a dark thicket, the stench grows stronger. In a flash of void and blood, a claw rakes savage stripes across your guts. As Kinnit dies, all goes black. Staggering back from Kinnit's deathly grasp, only your own blood now pumps through your heart. With your living eyes, you see him trembling in front of you, desperately holding out 3 straws. As your source flows into Kinnit, the straws in his hands disappear. He weeps with relief as his wound disappears in turn, and he is restored to the model image of a strapping young soldier. He looks around, then looks at you, and then he smiles. Smiling broadly, Kinnit fades away. The bull lazily chews non-existent cud. The shimmering ghost of a lizard magister turns her gaze upon you. She holds your stare, boring into your mind, searching the blacks of your eyes for the secrets of your soul. But in so doing, she shows you hers. You are Zeushan, a young lizard magister, devoted to the Order. More than this, you are in love with a comrade, a human man of wit and kindness and sweet disposition, who goes by the name of Boris. The confusion in her eyes quickly turns to empty, desperate, desolate sadness. She bows her head as if this is the end. The last shred of what she thought was real has now gone. She takes one last wander through her memories. You are Zeushan once more. Alexander dies. Worse, your human comrades look at you askance, as if his murder was your fault. Even Boris turns against you. When he's posted to Fort Joy, he does not say goodbye. Your heart is broken. Posted to the graveyard shift in the dark of night on the outskirts of town, you do your duty diligently, but your heart is no longer in it. So when you catch a couple of young sorcerers fleeing Raymond's net, you see how deeply in love they are. You do not turn them in, you help them to escape. But in the morning, they are caught and under torture give you up. They go to Fort Joy. You are hanged right here. She bows her head, ready to depart. And she fades away.
Oh, the musical sort. You ever thought about taking up the lute? I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. You never bothered to find the melody in you. A shame. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he were a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel. He's all right then, yeah? That's Laszlo, all right. If he had the blues, you'd never know it. Nothing kept his big smile from brightening the darkness. I hate the Magisters for what they'd done. Stole me brother, stole me heart. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Come back if you need. I'll be whittling away. Don't let them silence your song, whether fanfare or lullaby.
Up ahead, paladins, the famous divine protectors of Arks. I wonder what they're doing here, so far from home.
Who goes there? Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east's the way to go. It's a void-woken hellhole over there. Sorcerer at work. Powerful one. Of course, you could wait for the Magisters to sort them out. You'll be waiting. Holding the fort like we always do. Usually the fort in question is bigger than this one, but you do the job in front of you, don't you? Seems someone high up doesn't trust the Magisters to do their jobs out there. What should you expect beyond the bridge? Expect sorcery of the highest order. Expect Voidwoken, bigger and badder than you've ever seen. Expect the void. Expect to die. Go on through, adventurer. We won't stop you.
Heading east? If I were you, I wouldn't. You look tough, but you ain't tough enough. East'll be your funeral. The rolling pastures of Paradise Downs ain't paradisical no more.
Careful, I've spotted a trap.
Before you, a statue reaches her arms blindly for the sun-drenched skies. The shadows of the pillars around her dance and weave, wreathing her in their dark embrace. As you step closer to the statue, you feel the most comforting warmth emanating from her, as if millennia of sunlight had soaked into her stone, just waiting for this moment, just waiting for you.
By Lucian's sword, we meet again. Would that circumstances were better here than in Fort Joy. But they're not. Voidwoken lie in wait beyond the bridge.
Burning Voidwoken. The stink upsets me. I don't know why.
dead here stir. I hear their whispers. Let's see what spirits flint has got.
Look who's come to join the party. Oh, but you do get around, don't you?
He takes a satisfied sniff and rubs his hands together. His lips stretch into a mischievous smirk.
When it comes to graveyards, I'm a kid in a candy shop. All sorts of goodies and gewgaws for the taking. And a bit of rousing conversation. If you know what to dig, that is. Ah, it's a quandary, you see. I'm not exactly welcome in the Stone Garden. The servants that tend the graves, well, their master, this Riker fellow, caught me nosing around, so he had them chase me off. The spirits within are particularly feisty as well. Can't say why. I'm as gentle as can be. Alas, I'm stuck sniffing out herbs and fungi on the outskirts.
He presses a forefinger against his chin and hums.
This is when having access to a Godwoken might come in handy. You see, beyond the gates, there's something that my heart, such as it is set on. Well, that's the gold-plated question it is. I dare say you'll enjoy this story. Somewhere in this graveyard lies an object of tremendous power. Or so the legends say, anyway. Belonged to a family buried near here, the Surreys. I've been reading up on them. An ancient clan of eccentrics and oddballs. Fascinating people, truly. Old Joanna was the last. The poor dear. Had no money, no children, just this incredible heirloom passed down to her through the generations. Problem is, no one knows what this object is. Only that it's an astounding piece of work. Seems Joanna took its secrets to her grave. Rather literally.
His coy grin freezes.
Hours spent on scholarship are never hours wasted.
Tarquin sighs, and his lips unfreeze. For a moment, he looks almost modest.
It pains me to say, but you've talents in the adventuring department that I do not. This heirloom could prove valuable for both of us. I've told you everything you need to... everything I know. What it is doesn't matter. What it does, well, if I am right, it will clean up quite an unholy mess. A mess we're both currently mired in.
He looks toward the graveyard.
Let's make this easy. I'll assume you've accepted my mission. You'll assume I give it in good faith. Beautiful. The Surrey tomb must be somewhere nearby. And whatever that object is in there, I bet it's impressive. I do wish I could wander inside. It would be nice to look up some old friends. See if they're in good spirits.
It's not a silent monk, but it seems just as blank.
At first glance, the spirit seems much like its host. Hollow, detached. Yet, in its eyes, you see something more ominous, something not apparent before. Agony. The spirit nods, and its face grows even more tortured. It is trapped. By what or by whom, you cannot say.
The spirit is haunted as the graveyard it roams.
The lizard hums tunelessly. Not a melody exactly, but more of a meandering moan.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept. Lizards burned in lasting flame. Elven trees towards skies did aim. Keeping watch, tending graves.
She ekes out a few more notes, then smiles at you with the innocence of a newborn.
It helps me remember where the dead go. Sometimes they don't stay where I put them. That's okay.
She flinches as you move closer.
No, no touching.
Her humming fades. The eerie silence lasts for several seconds.
Riker might get mad. He doesn't like it when someone touches his things. No work. I do it 'cause I like it. Don't cause trouble. Just dig and pluck weeds and shoo the ravens.
She shivers and whispers.
He's a powerful sorcerer. Lives here in the garden. Can take the you from you. No brain, just body. My mind isn't big, but it's still mine.
She points at her head.
The servants, they got nothing up there. Riker has it all now. They need to be freed. Only way. Kill Riker. The servants, so lost, chained by Sorcerer Riker, but they can still go home to the hall. Set them free.
The ensuing silence lasts for several seconds, until she picks up the melody once again and turns away. The bitter air warms as you near the stone monument. You are relieved of the past's nightmares and the future's burdens. All that matters is now. The spirit gives you a tortured glance, then turns away to stare at nothing in particular.